Hey guys, it's Graham. What's cracking? Been a while since we came out here to the shop. Cracked open a frosty cold one. Talked about books. I used to have a lot of books on pre-order at any given time. I would hop on Amazon and I'd find out whatever my favorite author was doing for the year, and I'd smash the button and then get charged later in the American way. But that's kind of gone by the wayside over the last couple of years. It seems like there are fewer and fewer titles that I'm really looking forward to. I wouldn't have 6 books on pre-order. I might have 1 or 2 in a year. This year I have 3, and they're all coming out on October 7th. One of them is Larry Correia's new book, Academy of Outcasts. I'll do a different video on that one later. For this one, I want to hype up American Paladin. I really need to get freaking better markers for this board, or maybe a light underneath the shelf there. We'll see. In Larry's own words, American Paladin is a story about a Jack Reacher-style character, a guy who wanders from place to place and solves problems. In this case, there's a bit more of a supernatural bent to it, as far as I understand, and it's based on the lore of the Mountain West and the Southwest Desert region, which is right up my alley. I have a tendency to implicitly trust Larry's work. I've been reading him since 2009. He is consistently entertaining. I love his Monster Hunter series. His Grim Noir was fantastic. And he recently finished up Saga of the Forgotten Warrior, which was a 6-book series that he wrote and published over the last 10 years. It was just incredibly well done. That's not to even start counting all of the short stories that he's published and stuff that he's written in other universes and series that he's edited. Like, the man's a workhorse. And not only does he produce at volume, he produces at a consistent level of quality that I've just loved. And now I've realized, doing the math, that I've been reading him for a third of my life. So now, obviously, with a channel title like Trucker Man Reads, if you're new to the channel, you might not know this, but I'm a CDL holder. I have been since 2013, and I've been working consistently in the industry that entire time. There have been some pretty cool overlaps between my trucking stories and my reading stories. In fact, when I was reading Monster Hunter Alpha, I was driving through Canada through a snowstorm, right around the time in the book where the magical blizzard hit the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, so that was a nice little piece of synchronicity. I've also seen a lot of the more remote and obscure corners of the western part of the country, especially in Nevada and Utah, and occasionally down into Arizona and the deserts of California. I won't get too much into the details here. I'm not exactly calling into Art Bell's radio show. I will say that I have seen things. No, I will not say more. That said, I do believe that there is some sort of malicious entity hogging the servers over at Meta headquarters in San Jose, and that's why a lot of Larry Correia's social media posts have been getting quashed whenever he talks about this book. This is a guy with tens of thousands of followers across his multiple platforms, and whenever he goes off about something relating to politics, it gets a lot of traction. Not just with engagements, the clicks and the comments and stuff, but the pure exposure and the view count. The thing that happens regardless of whether you interact with it. But whenever he's trying to talk about this book in particular, those views get quashed. The reach is extremely limited. He's even done the highly drastic move of paying for ads on Facebook to get the word out about this series. Now, I am but a humble trucker with a couple of followers and subscribers on this channel. Grateful for all of you. Hoping to hit 5K this November. We'll see what happens. But I want to do what I can to boost the reach for one of my favorite authors, a very prolific creator who is consistently entertaining. That's a rare enough quality in and of itself. And I'm very excited for this book in particular. The details of the Kickstarter are going to be down below. Arc Press, the publisher, has their own YouTube channel called Gopherwood Lounge. They just did a video about this yesterday. They're planning on doing a live stream for the launch of the book on Tuesday, September 9th. And they're going to watch the Kickstarter go live and see the pledges come in on that first day. And then I assume it'll go for 30 days, etc., etc. They'll run you through the different editions of the book. They're going to have really nice hardcovers, nice ebooks and stuff. There's also a tie-in graphic novel illustrated by Alex Wisner. I don't have a copy of his book out here, but he did the illustrations for Passage Press's adaptation of Always with Honor by Piotr Rangel. In fact, now that I'm thinking of it, I think I've got that book out here. Yes. And just to establish my street cred, I have the original Mystery Grove edition of Always with Honor. Thanks to them for bringing this book back from the dead. Passage Press is doing a graphic novel adaptation in addition to their own new paperback edition of it. But Alex Wisner's art was fantastic in that graphic novel, and that was just issue 1 or volume 1, however you want to couch that. I'm going to be following up with that one as well. I need to get a video done of that. And when the Dust Sacrifice book comes out, that's the graphic novel that ties in with this American Paladin thing. I'll, of course, do a full review of it out here. But the main gist of this is, check all the links below to get the notifications for the Kickstarter and what. The Gopherwood Lounge boys have said that there are special perks that you get that you unlock just by subscribing to the mail list or the pre-notification list or whatever it is, that you won't be able to get just by straight up accessing the Kickstarter page in a couple of days. So if you're interested in that and you somehow haven't heard of it because of the server gremlins at Facebook shutting down Larry's posts, now you know. So check all that stuff out, and on Tuesday, I'm going to have a very conveniently timed DOT break so that I can pull over and get my pledge in, and I want to be one of the first to back this just for my own gratification. But I'm very excited for this story, for the nice additions that Arc Press is going to be doing of this book, and for that graphic novel. So check all that stuff out. Thanks for watching. Drive safe. See you out there.